Sindoor, where EW resilience was made a primary evaluation criteria. I'm happy to share that we had identified the need for EW resilient platforms a few years back by looking at and learning from global conflicts. And as we have been informing you in our quarterly calls regularly, we have developed a suite of features and capabilities that make our drone platforms exactly what the customer needs in this scenario. Over the years, we have developed the ability to identify customers' unstated requirements, considering their operations, advancements in technology, and global events. And we've successfully built products and solutions to meet these requirements well before the actual need arises. When the hand-launched UAVs dominated the defense landscape, we took an uncharted approach and developed India's first hybrid fixed-wing VTOL UAV for surveillance, the Switch UAV, considering that our defense forces and their operational requirements needed that adjustment. Today, Switch has the highest deployment with the armed forces in its category, with the only platform with the Fit for Indian Military certification use, Fit for Indian Military Use certification. This ability to look beyond the noise and identify real needs and build cutting-edge technology and products keeps Ideaforge ahead of the curve. For the national drone narrative, the conversation on resilience is fairly recent. However, for Ideaforge, it has been one of the core pillars of our philosophy and the work we do. Resilience, in fact, defines the nature of our business and the technology and products that we build. Over the last 2 decades, we have navigated policy and procurement uncertainties, supply chain and technology disruptions, and nuances and challenges of being in a deep tech industry, primarily through resilience. Last year, India's drone industry saw a slowdown in demand due to various factors that we discussed during our earlier calls. Defense companies in general, and more so the drone players with large contributions from defense sector, were affected. Because no large procurement happened in the major part of the year. However, the situation has started to improve with the 5th cycle of emergency procurement being initiated in the last quarter of the year. We are proud to share with the audience that as a part of this cycle, Ideaforge secured a 137 crore contract for its mini UAVs. This order followed a rigorous technical evaluation and a double validation on the country of origin and IP integrity of our systems, which reflects the elevated standards expected from vendors in this new era, and Ideaforge is flourishing in this. The selection of Ideaforge is a testament not just to our product capabilities, but also to our resilience as a business, withstanding policy delays, geopolitical uncertainties, and procurement inertia, and emerging as a trusted partner for the Indian Armed Forces. Now, we are seeing an accelerated and focused approach from the government in high-tech defense procurement. This is evidenced by the imminent initiation of the 6th round of emergency procurement for which the government had already allocated 40,000 crores to replenish and modernize the armed forces with cutting-edge solutions, out of which 9,000 crores has been allocated to the Indian Army. Intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and counterinsurgency and counterterrorism applications are now the top priority acquisition areas for the Indian Army. Also, in addition to central procurement, command-level procurement will also add to the overall demand. Coming to our efforts and initiatives, we demonstrated long-range surveillance through ZOLT and EW resilience capabilities through all our platforms at one of the largest field evaluation trials conducted by the Indian Army in some of the harshest environments. Our next generation of quadcopter and hybrid fixed-wing VTOL platforms, Q6V3 and Switch V2, are undergoing final evaluations before moving to pilot production. Also, Netra 5 is in the final stages of the industrialization process. All these platforms have garnered interest during the Aero India 2025 from visitors all over the world, and we are working actively to create relevant opportunities for these platforms. On the larger platform side, we are in the process of building multiple UAVs for testing and prototype readiness review for the Make-2 opportunities for Zolt. Also, for our middle mile logistics platform Yeti, the integration of the first technology demonstrator is underway. We are also in the process of designing the second technology demonstrator. For both these platforms, Zolt and Yeti, we are on track for development. Our joint development of the synthetic aperture radar payload with GalaxEye for fog penetration is also on track, and we are in the final stages of prototyping. We've also built a suite of AI features for our drone as a service and flight cloud initiatives to improve the solution's effectiveness and to augment customer experience. Coming to the international front, in the United States, we have made significant inroads with our early adopter program with multiple customers, and we have concluded successfully demonstrations with US Homeland Security and the Department of Defense. Africa has started to show structured movement, especially in the context of border security and infrastructure projects. We recently conducted a product demonstration in front of defense and homeland security customers in a few countries. The European market has also opened up due to ongoing geopolitical scenarios and initiatives as a part of NATO's expanded budget for battlefield resilience. We also signed a letter of intent with HFCL, a major player involved in telecom and defense equipment industry. Through this collaboration with HFCL, we plan to take Ideaforge's world-class UAVs to select geographies. I would also like to acknowledge the push from the government of India to boost deep tech sector in general and drones in particular. The announcement of the 1 lakh crore Research Development and Innovation Fund for companies working on cutting-edge technologies, including drones, is a strong policy signal that deep tech is a strategic priority for the country. We are also expecting PLI 2.0 for the drone industry, which will further catalyze domestic innovation and manufacturing. As one of India's earliest deep tech ventures, we are well positioned to benefit from both these initiatives. Let me now walk you through our financial performance for Q1FY26. Revenue for the quarter stood at 12.78 crores compared to 20.24 crores in Q4FY25. Gross profit stood at 7.89 crores compared to 7.29 crores in the previous quarter, with a gross margin of 61.7% in this quarter and 35.9% in the previous quarter. EBITDA stood at negative 15.4 crores compared to negative 17.41 crores in Q4 FY25. Our order book as of June 30th, 2025 stood at approximately rupees 144.8 crores. The renewed focus of the government in this sector is both encouraging and promising to deliver meaningful opportunities for us. I'm looking forward to question and answers now.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Bala Subramaniam from Arihat Capital. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunities. Sir, I want to understand about the product development and innovation side and these Zolt and Yeti progress. These are the next generation drone. These type prototype is in testing phases. When will we expect commercialization and what kind of TAM we can expect?
See, in terms of finishing product development, we are timing it according to the timelines of several Make-2 programs, as well as certain opportunities that are going to come up post the Operation Sindoor. So that is well on track and is expected to complete in the next few quarters. With respect to Zolt, with respect to Yeti, it may take a little bit longer because it's a much larger platform that we are building. in terms of the overall market opportunity and market expansion that happens due to these platforms, I think in both the cases, as we understand, particularly for Zolt at this point in time, the opportunity in terms of the overall expectation of the opportunity that we are tracking runs into several thousands of crores. We are tracking those opportunities closely and preparing for the Make-II programs and other capabilities on that platform.
Yes, sir. Sir, our field test demonstrated electronic warfare resilience, and is this what kind of USP for military contracts in coming quarters, and how do we compare with global peers? And secondly, I think our AI-driven features like target tracking, LLM chatbots, enhance competitiveness. How do you monetize going forward these features?
So when we look at the EW resilience capabilities, I think I would say that we were actually very comforted by the fact that we have been investing behind those areas over the last couple of years. We've been reporting regularly on our progress on those areas. And, when we were required to demonstrate those capabilities, we were able to demonstrate those capabilities based on the testing parameters that were laid out in front of us. And in most cases, we were successful in demonstrating that capability, which is only possible if long-term preparation meets the opportunity, and which is what happened in our case. In terms of AI capabilities, I'm glad to report, and we have mentioned this earlier as well, that our GPS-denied solution is based off AI capability. That is something that we are very proud of, and we are working more in improving that capability further. And in terms of our overall usage of artificial intelligence, we have been partnering with a lot of partners who are enabling us to offer this technology along with internal capabilities to create significant motion. Recently, there was a scenario where we were deployed in one of the large religious congregations, and our AI capability was very helpful in helping manage that situation on ground.
Okay, sir. So my last question regarding...
तुम्ही ज्या व्यक्तीशी बोलत आहात त्याने तुमच्या कॉलला होल्डवर ठेवला आहे. कृपया लाईनवरच राहा. The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold. Please stay on the line. आप जिस व्यक्ति से बात कर रहे हैं उसने आपकी कॉल को...
Hello.
Yes.
I'm audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, this emergency procurement order of...
Sorry to interrupt. May I request you to join the question queue again?
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Darshil Zaveri from Crown Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for taking my question. Hopefully, I'm audible. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, sir. So, sir, I just wanted to, ask about our order book inflow. So, I think we've mentioned we won a 137 crores order, but I think in our order book, in our presentation, it's showing around 145 crores, I think, as an order book. So, is the new order reflected in this order book, or is it a separate, standalone thing?
No, it is reflected. It is reflected in this.
Oh, okay. So current capabilities, so when do we what would be our execution timeline for this order?
Typically, any emergency procurement order comes with a 12-month timeline for delivery. And of course, in our case, we are accelerating the delivery to the best extent possible. So we are already on the job on that.
Oh, okay. That helps a lot, sir. And I just wanted to know, in a bookkeeping way, so our revenue is recognized when we, so how do we, recognize the revenue as a drone sale or completely to the end of the, full order completion? How does that work, sir?
See, in most of these contracts, we are scheduled to deliver in various, I would say, various chunks. The delivery is broken into various chunks. So we have to deliver on the basis of those chunks, and we get paid on the basis of delivery of those chunks as well. And apart from that, there are advance payments as well from the end customer.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, sir. So, sir, so if I could infer, like, so currently our complete order book is basically from the new emergency procurement, right? So, other than that, we have what's our order bid line status, or how do we see the demand going ahead, sir?
See, the L1 pipeline in general that we've been speaking about earlier is relatively intact. So we continue to expect more closures happening. And that's what we're tracking right now. Some of them will happen earlier than some of the others we are expecting to happen sometime later.
Okay, sir. So what was how much have we bidded for, sir? And like, could you just, quantify that? And like the tenders are going to open in H1 or H2. I know it's very difficult to give an exact timeline, but a rough, so, even we can anticipate it's going to happen in, like which half, if that could be given, sir.
So typically, we haven't spoken of anything more than our L1 pipeline. And from within that, some of the conversions will happen within this or the next quarter. And some others we are expecting more towards the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, sir. And sir, like, I think you were mentioning...
Sorry to interrupt. May I
Yeah, okay.
point the question queue again?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a request to all participants, please limit your questions to 2 questions per participant. Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Hardik Rawat from IIFL Capital. Please go ahead. As there is no response from the participant, the next question comes from the line of Riya Bhatia from CNBC TV. Please go ahead.
Yes, so you'd spoken about the L1 opportunity pipeline of rupees 400 crores. So is the entire thing for FY26 or is this over the next 2-3 years?
Typically, the expectation is for it to close within this and the coming financial year.
Within this and the coming financial year. And how much of it would be in FY26 roughly?
That I'm not fully in a position to share right now.
All right. Okay.
And we do expect more to get added to this. So it's an evolving vector.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Hardik Rawat from IIFL Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Hardik.
Yeah. Hi, good morning, Ankit. Good morning, Vipul. I had a couple of questions, with regards to the order that we have received. Just to be sure, this 137 crore rupees order that we've received wasn't captured in the L1 pipeline that we were working with, right? The 400 crores did not include this 137 crore order.
So it was a part of that L1 pipeline, and then more has come in as well.
Got it. So what would be the L1 pipeline as on date for us?
Similar to what we had reported last time.
Guidance for the current year, now that we have this 137 crore rupees worth of order with an execution timeline of roughly 12 months, should we expect that a large part of this contract should, get concluded within this fiscal itself? Roughly 90-95% should be booked towards the revenue for this fiscal?
I would let Vipul answer that question. Vipul, would you want to comment?
Hi, Hardik. So since it's been about a month that we received the order, we're right now assimilating a certain timeline of delivery of certain parts which are unique to this particular order. Basis that, we should be able to build the overall inventory and the pipeline of delivery since any of these MOD orders, as well as part of any emergency procurement, there are multiple stages before the deliveries can be scheduled, wherein there's an inspection which is also gets done from the user side, and there's a QA agency review as well, which impacts the recognition of the revenue. But we are hoping that we should be able to build a large part of this within this financial year.
Got it. And the current order book of 144 odd crores, excluding the 137 crore rupees worth of order for the EP5 that you've gotten, the balance order book is just 7 crores. Do you anticipate the receipt of any orders during the year, which will again get, executed within the same year?
Yes, we do expect conversions from the L1 pipeline. Some of them we'll expect within this or the coming quarter, and some of them will happen a little bit later.
Got it. That's helpful. My second question was with regards to gross margins. We have seen gross margins trend down continuously from FY22 to FY25, from 76 odd percentage to 33% in the last fiscal, and now there's a healthy increase in the gross margin in this current quarter to about 61-62%. Just wanted to understand, is it because we have booked a lot of service revenue, or were these product deliveries that have led to such a jump in the gross margins on a YOY basis?
Hi, Hardik. So
you want to go ahead?
Reason for mix of deliveries and service orders both getting executed within this quarter, and largely as how we have been enumerating that it also depends on which order is getting executed in a particular timeline and what mix of products are getting dispatched impacts the overall gross profits.
Okay. One last question was with regards to, you spoke of,
Sir. May
Sure,
I
I'll get back to
join the queue again?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question comes from the line of Isha Murthy from MI Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Our company has recently secured a substantial order value, which was at, am I not wrong, it's around 137 crores. So could you please clarify the expected delivery schedule and associated payment cycle?
Vipul, would you like to go ahead?
Sure. So emergency procurements carry a cycle of 12 months for delivery timeline from the order executed. Will be also partial supplies, which are broken down between 3 to 4 deliveries of the total quantity received as part of the order.
Okay. Additionally, is there any possibility of expediting the delivery, potentially reducing the original 12-month time frame outlined in the agreement?
Yeah, like I was explaining to Hardik in last question as well, right now we're assimilating the overall supply chain. How much time would it take to gather the complete unique parts to this particular orders? And basis that, we will be able to overall look at the timelines of deliveries. And since there are also factors dependent on external agencies in execution, we are hoping that we should be able to make the timelines better than the 12 months.
Okay, sir. Also, I wanted to ask, what are your projections on how the UK free trade agreement will influence your duty framework and competitive positioning within European market, over in coming 12 months, I would say?
I think our foray in the European market is, relatively new. We are seeking partnerships and potential collaboration opportunities there. So I'll probably be able to comment on that once we have substantial motion on that side.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Nilesh from JM Financial. Please go ahead. As there is no response, we'll move to the next question. The next question comes from the line of Shaurya Yadav from Pinpoint X Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Post Operation Sindoor and recent MOD emergency procurement, I'm assuming that there has been a reasonable reduction in time taken for defense order. Right? But if you can tell what are the typical timeliness for contract finalization, like post testing. Once we have done the testing, but like how much time it would take to get the order from MOD? Before I'm asking for Operation Sindoor and emergency procurement. In terms of months or year, how much time it takes before this?
In the last cycle, they had taken about 6 months to give the order. So that's the previous experience I can quote insofar as the EP procurement is concerned.
And sir, post these operations and emergency procurement.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Yeah. And post these operations Sindoor and EP that we are saying, like how much time now government is taking?
See, there's always obviously an expectation of acceleration, but I cannot comment on the actual timelines immediately.
And sir, my second question is like I want to understand that all these operations that we have observed that promising surge in defense drone players, including startups, like, which is very good. But specifically for the kamikaze drones, like which have used in the Operation Sindoor, there has been a scarcity of players who are capable of developing kamikaze above the range of 300 and 400 kilometers. Like, could you elaborate on the key technicals or development challenges that is preventing the Indian manufacturing from cracking these kamikaze drones above 300 and 400 kilometers? And are we looking to venture into this segment?
So, I think it will become very technical to answer that question for the audience here. So I'll probably refrain from going into too much detail. And I'm aware of some efforts being made in that direction as well. In terms of Ideaforge, looking at that vector, at this point in time, we are not directly looking at building a kamikaze system. We are largely focused on ISR capabilities, and always we're looking at multi-role assets that can also do precision payload delivery and other capabilities.
Okay, sir, got it. And sir, how do you see the future for players who are working on kamikaze ones, specifically for India?
It's very clear that post Operation Sindoor, the country will require drones both of ISR nature, because they are the ones that will give any targets in most cases that will be required to be looked at during any such mission. Whereas there will also be a need for doing a kinetic vector on the other side. And I think kinetic vector has both the aspect of what is known as loitering munitions, or has also got the aspect of products that can drop payloads or release payloads that can neutralize the target. So both of those capabilities are going to be critical going forward. All three, in fact.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Nilesh from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. I have one question. Can you throw some light on the competitive intensity in this space where we are operating, and is there any incidents where we have lost the order to our competitor in last 2 quarters or so?
So, hi Nilesh. In terms of competitive intensity, what I can definitely share is that it is going to be, it is usually very tough to build these resilient systems. Right? It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of development activity as well. So that is definitely an advantage that we have at this point in time, because we have been prioritizing that as a developmental vector for Ideaforge. in terms of competitive pressures, there are businesses across the world, particularly in the Ukraine-Russia conflict, which have looked at a lot of such similar scenarios and have been observing those over the last few years. So there are capabilities globally that are working towards EW resilience as well, and there are going to be comparative opportunities or comparative businesses who will look at those aspects. But at the same time, there is a deep requirement for us to build such capabilities and technologies in the country to have our own intellectual property for the obvious reason of strategic autonomy and superiority that we need to have. And therefore, we believe that we will continue to see advantage to Indian players. And therefore, I think both of these vectors do overall position us well. But we have to continue to track opportunities very closely. And we are not present in all possible capabilities that the customer would want to look at. And that's also something to be kept in mind.
Okay. And sir, secondly,
So sorry to interrupt. May I request you to join the question queue for a follow-up question?
Okay, sure.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Nayan from Xylem PMS. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi. So I want to ask two questions. So the first thing is, are there any plans for a fresh fundraise in the near term?
Nothing is presently being looked at.
Okay, and could you share the approximate quarterly cash loss figure? And based on the cash reserves, how many quarters of runway do we have?
I'm not sure if we have been able to report that at this juncture. But Vipul, go ahead if you have any feedback on it.
So basically, since the balance sheet numbers are not out, cash reserves and non-numbers right now at this juncture cannot be shared, but we can assure that we have self-sufficient numbers runway in terms of cash reserves as well as debt facilities in place for execution of any orders that get built in this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Dipen Vakil from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity. So, and congratulations on the emergency procurement order. So my first question is, can you throw some light on the defense as your service vertical and the non-defense side of the operations, like when we can expect some uptake coming in from those segments also, and what is the progress in the mining and the other areas, and the non-defense areas for you?
Sure, Dipen. I believe you wanted to say drone as a service.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I think, it's actually an area that we are seeing a lot of very useful progress. We had always believed that it's going to be important for this service to become critical for our customers to retain its presence on ground. And we have started to see green shoots of the fact that once we deliver this kind of a service, and if there is any reason for which there is a pullback, even experimentally, we see that the need arises very quickly of that service to return. So I think the thesis with which we started our drone as a service, capability building is, I would say, panning out really well. We've had many success stories of how our drone as a service capability is helping our end customers almost on a daily basis prevent theft, do better management of their overall plants and assets, including, for example, in mining, where we are able to look at many inefficiencies that otherwise get reported in large numbers over the end of the year. We are able to predict those inefficiencies today, and we are able to help them reduce those inefficiencies with respect to theft and many other situations on ground with respect to lost equipment, looking at stockpile measurements, etc. So there is a very wide variety of solutions that we are able to deliver to end customers, particularly if you look at any physical infrastructure, particularly if it is large, we are able to help them do security, safety, and governance in a, I would say, in an unprecedented way as compared to what was happening earlier. And it can reduce the overall risk for any facility and improve productivity by a good margin.
So, can you help us understanding as to what kind of contribution can we expect them from the drone as a service business, maybe in FY26 or 27? Because this year's execution likely it's coming entirely from the pending order book which was there in the fourth quarter of last year. So maybe if we can get some clarity into the kind of execution from the number point of view.
See, drone as a service is currently in a lot of scale up mode. It's showing up in two ways. In some cases where our partners win service contracts, we win product contracts on the back of that. So that's one part of where it shows up. And the second part where it shows up is where we are either via franchisee or directly, we are offering drone as a service as a capability to end customers. So that vector is going to be a much smaller percentage of the overall revenue in the short term. But it's a very robust vector and proves the ability to build a very strong presence for the asset wherever it is deployed. So our firm belief is that this technology will get deployed almost everywhere for safety, security, and governance, including in cities, states, coastline, and also in enterprises. So that is an area that we are developing very fast. But it will show up in two ways, like I said, product sales as well as in doing direct services.
Got it. So last question. So you mentioned that your order pipeline continues to be 400 crores even now. So I wanted to understand what would be your, so even does that the future EP projects are part of this 400 crore or the 400 crore is a non-EP pipeline?
Yeah, it is presently not included.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you so much and all the best for coming quarters.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question comes from the line of Preeti Agarwal from SK Associates. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. I wanted to understand what are the primary differentiators in our company's proposal as compared to our competitors during the bidding and trial stages, particularly in technical evaluation, live demonstration, and assessment phases.
Typically, you have to meet the threshold set by the customer in terms of the minimum performance. And as the solutions become more complex, it is difficult to have, new entrants or late entrants have all the pieces of the puzzle sorted because it takes time for, building all the elements that are required by an end customer. And secondly is the reliability of the systems, because in most cases, in a physical evaluation where the system has to be flown, it has to be reliable enough that it can deliver the performance on the given day. So both of these things, end up being a huge advantage. Our customers have done over 700,000 flights on our systems, and all of that experience goes into building reliability onto the platforms, and that is carried over to not just our existing products, but also our future product developments. So that brings an edge to what we are doing. Apart from, of course, many patents that we have filed, which give us unique capabilities, and the technology development work that we do differentiates us from our competition.
Okay. Understood. And could you also provide insights into the level of engagement and potential order volumes generated through your early adopter program with U.S. Police Department?
See, the early adopter program in the U.S. Is a program where we give early access to our platforms, and we gain a lot of insights into what customers would really need. It's a large market opportunity, and we've been building progressively towards making sure that we have the right product market fit. It takes time because of competing priorities as well as very specific requirements, and therefore we are inching very close to finish line in most cases, but we are hopeful that we will start getting orders soon in the market as well.
Thank you so much, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Nikhil Gupta from Vayu Capital. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Ankit. My question is more specific to SecEagle. I think they were recently making headlines with respect to medicine deliveries in partnership, Apollo Hospitals and some other various other names. So, can you describe our investment and investment terms specifically there, and strategically, are we helping them in any operations, and what's all happening in that front?
See, I think drone delivery remains a very critical vector with respect to building not just the drone hardware, but to solve the customer solution, wherein the order booking, the execution of the leg of doing drone delivery, and final customer service, and all of that happens seamlessly. So most of our focus in this investment has been around gaining early access to a team that is doing that capability development, and also making sure that we can partner with each other based on our mutually, you can say, exclusive platforms or complementary platforms that can allow us to build a more complete supply chain solution in the future. So that's the focus on that investment for us, and they continue to build in that direction, and we are tracking it closely. And as we build some of these larger capability platforms of ours, there are a lot of opportunities in the future where our platforms could be cross-leveraged.
Okay, and the exact investment terms, we don't want to disclose it. Is that the case?
I think we had disclosed the amount we had invested, but I'm not sure of what are the exact investment terms, if we had disclosed them or not. We are presently not in a position to disclose further.
Okay. Okay. My last question is with respect to our Flight Cloud platform. I think my limited understanding is that earlier you mentioned that we are also trying to build a marketplace of analytics where, let's say, any other company or any other firm wants to use their own drone data and want to get insights, they can use our platform, automatically upload and just get insights whatever they want to. So basically, the drone data is not specifically to our Ideaforge drones, but they have some own drone data and they can get insights using our platform. So are we working on that direction as well?
Yes. So what we're doing is that with our platforms, the entire process becomes very seamless because, we can do a lot of automation on the data uploading, data validation, curation part on the ground level itself before it gets uploaded on the cloud. But yes, we do want to, leverage the platform that we are building to make sure that we are able to gain access to more customers using that platform, and also allows us to scalably test the analytics and other capabilities that we've built, which will be another entry point for us to service more number of customers in this space, who can again be future customers for many of our hardware platforms as well.
Right. And do we at this point of time have any customers?
Sorry to interrupt. May I request
It's a
join the
this is
question?
a follow-up question. This is not a new question.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so there is work happening with end customers on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just to sort of highlight that we've added a new capability on Flight Cloud, wherein we are also enabling upload of our surveillance or the video data that we capture using our drones, and have given customers the ability to, one, do better data management, and two, we have given them the ability to analyze or post-analyze the information, create necessary, you can say, insights for the consumption of the leadership in their hierarchy. And we've also progressively going to add AI capabilities that can do a lot of this activity, in aid of the operator who's going to be looking at that information. So we are building more capabilities on the platform, live customer engagements on that as well, to make sure that we are testing it and prototyping it.
Thank you. Okay. Best of luck.
Thank you. The next follow-up question comes from the line of Darshil Zaveri from Crown Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you so much for letting me ask a question again. So just wanted to know, like, are our drones capable of being, used in, geospatial mapping area, and, have we, pursued that opportunity, sir?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, for the Swamitwa scheme, where the government of India is mapping all the 660,000 odd villages in the country using drones, we are proud to say that we are a key provider of the drone technology for that opportunity. And apart from that as well, we have developed a very robust geospatial capability, and we have been reporting that we are not just building capability for a regular color camera or what is known as RGB mapping. We are also doing work on LiDAR, multispectral, hyperspectral, and also on oblique cameras. So we can sort of help our end users create a very wide spectrum of geospatial data that can be very helpful in operations and governance aspects of many of these scenarios.
So have we bidded for any contracts, or are there any ongoing contracts for those? Like, how would those work? Like, will we be providing drones to them as on a rental basis, or do they just procure and buy it out? Like, how does that part of business work, sir?
Again, it shows up in two ways presently. It shows up as direct product sales, or it shows up as a sale to a partner who would then be using the technology to deliver a service to the end customer.
Okay. So any orders that we can expect this year from that segment, or how would you see that opportunity, sir, currently?
Yes, there is momentum on that direction as well. So we are tracking opportunities there.
Any active contract that you bidded for, or is just it's in tendering process or something is happening on that?
There are some active contracts we bidded for, but we also have more opportunities building in the pipeline.
Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Riya Bhatia from CNBC TV. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I had a couple of questions about your numbers. So the company has been reporting losses at the EBITDA and the net level in the last 4 quarters, but in this quarter we've seen some improvement sequentially. So are you expecting to turn profitable at a certain revenue scale, or is there a timeline to it?
Definitely, I think at the right scale we would expect, but I'll let Vipul answer the question.
So, Riya, since we are not giving any forward-looking numbers on what is the top line that we are targeting for the year, but it will be our endeavor to reach the profitability numbers in the near term. A lot will depend on with what order book and timeline we close in, which if it's Q3 or Q4, and that will determine our deliverables as well as the realization of the revenue as well for the year.
All right. And so are you also expecting to improve your working capital cycle?
Definitely, as we continue to participate in some of these EP opportunities and all, where we will get an opportunity to have bifurcated milestone-based payments, there will be advances also as part of these contracts. So we are hoping that we will be able to realize all of this in time, and with that, in turn, impact on our net working capital cycles as well.
Got it. So my last question.
And that's consistent with our past experience. So.
Okay. All right. And sir, the last question is about the order pipeline. You mentioned that the current 400 crore pipeline doesn't include emergency procurement. So can you quantify the opportunity size from EP?
We are not in a position to quantify that right now. It's still because the RFPs and what will come out is still in the making.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take this as the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Ankit Mehta for closing comments.
Thank you. Let me close by returning to the initial part of today's call. I think resilience this quarter, I would say, is not about turnaround. Instead, it was about validation. Validation that drones are not auxiliary, but they are central to modern defense. Validation that the government is serious about drones, as evidenced by the announcement of EP6 and the corresponding budget allocation. Validation that indigenous EW resilient platforms are no longer optional, but they are essential. And most importantly, validation that companies like Ideaforge, built on conviction, not convenience, will endure and lead when the going gets tough. In every battle, be it on the international borders or in our own boardroom, resilience wins. And that is the very reason why we are positioned to win. Thank you for joining today's call and for your continued support and belief in Ideaforge.
On behalf of Ideaforge Technology Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.